So in this video, I'm going to go over how to get your child to stop doing what you don't want them to do and start doing what you want them to do. So let's say your child is engaging in some really undesirable behaviors, like say pulling the tail of the family dog, or maybe climbing onto furniture or chairs and standing on them, or say they're pulling the petals of a flower or an indoor plant. And what you're doing isn't working, and maybe it's even continuing the behavior and perpetuating the behavior because the child wants to do it to get a reaction out of you or attention from you. So I'm going to go over some tips on how to get your child to stop doing that. My first tip, and this is a big tip, is to rephrase how you're speaking to your child. So in the instance of where the child may be pulling the tail of the family dog, instead of saying to the child, stop pulling his tail, rephrase what you're saying and tell them what they're supposed to do, which is gently pet the dog. Yes, soft hands, gentle hands. And that way, regardless of whether the child is not maybe fully understanding what you're saying and only picking up those key words, which may be why they're continuing with that behavior, or let's just say the fact is the child doesn't know what else they're supposed to do. If you rephrase it so that way you're telling them what they should do, then the child is hearing the key words of what to do, or they're now having an understanding of what they're supposed to do. So regardless, rephrasing what you're saying so the child knows what they're supposed to do or how they're supposed to interact will help immensely in being able to get them to stop doing that. My second tip is to ignore the behavior that you want to go away. And of course, there's a caveat with that. If it's an unsafe or harmful behavior, you're going to need to intervene and, of course, provide attention to that. But if the child is doing something where you see that they're just really trying to get a reaction out of you, like say they're really just bouncing a ball into the couch and they're really just trying to get your attention and it's maybe something annoying, what I would say is ignore it. And that way, if you ignore it, they're not going to get the attention or reaction that they're looking to get. And eventually they're going to stop and move on. And so not giving attention to a behavior that you want them to stop doing will get them to stop doing that. And my last tip is to positively reinforce the child when they do what you want them to do. So in the instance of where the child is, say, pulling the family dog's tail, and you catch them one time where they're actually giving the dog gentle pets, immediately praise them and say, yay, good petting the dog, good gentle hands. And that way the child is also now getting positive attention for the behavior you want, which means they're going to be more likely to continue that behavior because they're going to want that attention from you. And it's a positive one because they're doing what you're wanting them to do.